Joining the Matt Weiner show today is New York Giants defensive lineman Freedom Akinmoladon. How was that? How was the pronunciation?
It was alright, but it's
All
all
right.
good.
Wait, how can I improve?
Just say freedom. Nah, you good, man.
All right, I'm gonna stick with Freedom, but I want to make sure I got the last name right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw that the reason why I kind of got the idea for that was I saw a reporter was having trouble with it, and you kind of gave her the Mula tip. Is that the go-to nickname for coaches from you?
No, I think it's just freedom because there's not a lot of people that most people know name freedom. So it's probably easy for people to remember just freedom than Akinmoladon.
Okay. So how'd you get that?
But the last name?
No, your first name Freedom.
Oh, freedom. Mom gave it to me. It was kind of like, um, my mom really wanted to give me a very unique name, a name that most people don't, I should say, uh, most people don't name their children. She came up with Freedom, and now my little brother's name is Justice, but all my other brothers' names are, kind of Nigerian or just a normal name.
Okay. Maybe if you have a kid, you'll just name it Liberty.
No, we're not doing that.
Nah. uh,
No, we're not doing that.
but yeah. So, kind of heading into this year's draft, what were your expectations? Because you had a really breakout freshman year, and then kind of progressed a lot. So, what was your mentality heading into it?
To be honest, I just wanted to get the opportunity to be able to live out my dreams, knowing that Nebraska gave me a great opportunity to play there and compete at the L level and allow me to learn many things. I just wanted to be able to continue learning, continue to be able to become a great competitor, become a great role model to not just for like my not just for my family and all stuff, but also the community that surrounds me. So, um, just when the drafts began, I was just hoping I'd get a chance to continue to play football, continue to live out my passion, and thankfully, the Giants organization gave me that opportunity.
Yeah. So, kind of heading into it, do you know were any teams talking to you? Were the Giants talking to you? I think a lot of people don't get the chance to hear the stories of undrafted free agents.
So, yeah, some teams were talking to me, but at the end of the day, it was mostly like, hey, we want to see, like, the combine day was a huge day for me, especially because they wanted to see how I was moving and all stuff, and it's that like, and at what weight I moved the best, and
Hmm.
thankfully I had a good combine time. I was able to talk to some teams and also saw the New York Giants, saw other teams that were at the combine. It was just a great opportunity for me to display my talents, display the movements I have been working on to get to this point of time in my life.
Hmm. So for the combine, what was the training like heading into that? Were you two a days? How were you able to mix kind of even speed and strength training as well?
So there's a great process. I was actually able to go to a organization called Test, which is out in New Jersey. They allowed me to train there, and they helped me with my speed. They got me stronger. They allowed me to lose some body fat and just be in the best shape that I could possibly be. And I am truthfully grateful for Tess and that organization because without them, I don't know where I'll be at right now. Um, just a lot of speed drills, a lot of lifting weights, and just being mentally focused every day. Like it was pro day because that's how you approach life. Like it's the actual event.
Hmm. So would you say the combine? Because after I didn't really follow the combine, any of the combines, that much until this year's 2019, and it really occurred to me that some of the stuff wasn't very applicable, and some of it is from at least from what I've heard from around the leagues was that it was just some of it is just kind of background noise. But would you say it's more helpful to a guy like you who is kind of not as big of a name, but you have a chance to train and put yourself out there and compare yourself to the greats?
It definitely is, and
Mm-hmm.
also like many players who go to the combine, their tape definitely tells the story,
Mm-hmm.
and the coaches of course see that, and they say, okay, if this person can play this position, they can play this well and all stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
for many undrafted uh, agents, free agents, their combine was a huge boost because most people wanted to see how fast a person moves or how strong that um, person is, and if they believe that they dedicated so much time to just one day, and they actually, how should I say this? They actually improve or they achieve the goals that they wanted to be at. Some coaches may see that their dedication to living out their dream will be viable within their system.
Mm. Okay. It's so crazy when you. I like the combine because you really get to see all the coaches kind of being put on display. Did any of them that you were talking to, whether it was head coach or assistant coach, really stuck out to you, and you really kind of wished you got the opportunity to play for them?
Most of it was kind of scouts.
Okay.
I didn't get the opportunity to talk to coaches, but there was a lot of scouts out there, and of course there was many scouts talking to me after the pro day, and they were just saying, "Hey, you had a great time and all stuff. You performed well. Now you just need to keep training hard." And this is by most teams. And they were saying, "Keep training hard. Keep getting after it because you never know what the future holds for you." And that's one thing I absolutely did. And coming to like, give, sorry, given an opportunity to go to
Mm-hmm.
a mini camp with the New York Giants, I definitely felt more prepared than if I didn't do anything. So their advice that they gave me definitely inspired me to continue working, not to give up on my dreams. And now I am with the New York Giants right now.
Yeah, so I kind of want to wrap up with the combine and then start talking about your next stage of your life with the Giants. So wrapping up with the combine, when you went out to eat or hung out in Indy, did you run into any famous people where you're like, "Holy shit," and you kind of got a little starstruck?
And are you talking about the combine?
Yeah.
I wasn't. I didn't actually participate in the combine.
Oh, my apologies. So for your pro day?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, damn, my apologies, my bad. But I should I should have done a little bit more research. But so did you at least in your pro day, did you see any big faces where you got a little starstruck?
Oh yeah, definitely. There was a lot of players around, like kind of like the Midwest. You saw a lot of top players from like around my school,
Hmm.
like players who perform very high when they're at Nebraska and other schools around. And it wasn't starstruck. But it was like, hey, we're at this point of our life where, you know, this is it. Like this is our time that we can live out our dreams and all. So, and when I was trading, of course, there was some players that like who went first round and after was drafted. So it was actually a good experience.
Yeah, so some of those guys that kind of performed at Nebraska that were great D linemen, Greg Hardy, Ndamukong Suh. Are you looking forward to some of those matchups in the NFL?
Can you say that question again? I'm sorry.
Oh, just kind of going, even though you won't be playing against them or won't be going against them on the field, at least playing with the teams against each other. That might be kind of a mind fuck as well if you ever when you get the chance to play the Bucks for somebody like Ndamukong Suh.
Oh, it's going to be very nice. It's going to be a great experience, especially seeing somebody who has gone through the process, has competed at a very high level for multiple years and all. So it's kind of, and for me, like Ndamukong Suh has been like a huge motivation for me. Seeing him every single day at Nebraska, um, trying to get to the level that he's playing at, it's been a huge motivator. So it's gonna be kind of like one of those things that when I see him go out on the field and when I see other great defensive linemen play, even even in practice when I see our defensive linemen play, it's kind of like one of those eye openers that, hey, this is a real deal. Like, I'm playing at a really high level, and I need to, you know, make sure I'm prepared in every way.
Yeah. Now that you're kind of peers with Ndamukong Suh, you know, a big part of his career is that he was the violent, kind of crazy guy. But I actually really fuck with him because that's his pure passion and grit and intensity. So is that something? Have you taken kind of any of those aspects from him?
I definitely have. You can't play defensive lineman if you're going to be a physical uh, person on the field. So, and that's just a defensive lineman mindset. So being able to do whatever you need to do to get to make a tackle, to make to do your assignment, to get a sack, that is necessary. And for him, it's to get mad at everything, or make him or for him to have a switch,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how he does it. I have my own switch. I do my own things. I like to. For me, I kind of like to. How should I say this? I like to turn up.
Nah, I fuck
uh,
that.
I like to not be like quiet and all stuff. I'm a person that wants all my teammates to be in the same, have that same feeling of like, okay, we're competing at a high level. Let's all get ready for this because this is not just a job; it's fun, and
Mm.
most people don't get this opportunity. So definitely, that's the way I see it.
Yeah, no, I definitely love how the greatness of sports is kind of you get this kind of Harvey Dent where one side's this kind of ugly, gross product that just kind of raw intensity, just with and then you have the and that comes with the other side is that off the field, like it's definitely a completely different switch and kind of like half of his face is gross and then the other half is normal. So how hard is it for you to kind of keep those switches?
Um, I'm gonna say it's hard. It's more like um, there's a time and place for everything,
Yeah.
and when you hit the field and like when you hit the field, you understand that you're not going against your best friend. That's not the mindset.
Mm-hmm.
It's how, well, how should I say this? Okay. When you get on the field, you're fighting for your life because not only are you going out there and trying to defeat your opponent, but at the same time you're also competing for a job. Um, and every single snap, it's like, okay, this is a snap. It's not just it's for me and for my kids and my kids' kids. Because at the end of the day, whatever happens to me now, make it, if I make it to the 53-man roster and I happen to make it to the team, then I'll have an opportunity to not only seek the riches, but also be able to set myself on a platform where I could be a great role model and those type of things. So there's a lot at stake whenever you hit the field. So if you don't have that switch, if you don't have the want to be able to say, hey, I'm not, like when I'm off the field, I'm the nice human being. I'm a gentleman and all stuff. But as soon as I hit the field, I have to be this person that um, I wouldn't want my mother to be around.
That's a good way to put it. But yeah, so have you been on teams with I mean, I'm sure you've been on teams with guys who don't know how to get that switch, whether it's kind of being the nice guy on and off the field and but also the guy that just is kind of raging too hard and going too crazy and doesn't know how to handle himself. What's worse?
Probably the always crazy all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and that comes with the development of the culture of like the program, especially with like the coaches. If the coaches say, "Hey, um, you need to," like for example, within Nebraska, they always thought that, "Hey, you're not just representing yourself as a football player, but you also represent the name that's on your back."
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want to go out and rage everywhere you go because you're also affecting your name on your back. So if
Mm-hmm.
I went out to the mall and start hazing people and all stuff. It's not just freedom that I'm affecting, but it's also my last name, which will then affect all my brothers and sisters and my nephews and nieces. So
No, it definitely makes sense. But yeah, I just can't imagine how frustrating that would be. And have you had to kind of tell anybody kind of the off the field stuff? Because the fans only see what's on. We don't really know what's going on off. So have you kind of had to been the leader and tell guys to chill out off the field?
oh yeah, there's definitely some people that let the football side get to their head, but at the same time, they also need to know that the football will only last on for a certain time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a job. It's experience.
Mm-hmm.
You only get to experience college football for 4 years in your life. And it's not a job because it is what it is. You have 4 years and then you're done. 4 to 5 years and then you're done. It's not a job that will last forever. So having them understand that this experience is very finite or it's very unknown, and that every single day, yes, you label yourself as a football player and all stuff, but you're not just a football player. You're also a human being. A human being that your parents raised you to be a certain way.
Yeah, no, I definitely can understand that, and it's just really hard because like these, I can't imagine even when guys are really kind of roided up, what that's like. And I mean, you've heard the stories throughout the years of even not in football alone, but just guys who are so intense on and off the field, and it's just one of those things where you can't really blame them. I feel like at some times that I mean anybody could kind of has potential to anything, and I think some of these guys is just are really misunderstood at times, and it's really hard.
I definitely understand that. But like even like Ndombikins too. Like if you ever met him off the field, he's not like that person that you see on the field. It's just people need to just understand exactly when to turn on the switch and when to turn off the switch.
Hmm. Yeah. So kind of now, kind of the off switch. We talked about the on switch, kind of first half of this, but now with the off switch, judging by your Instagram and kind of throughout the interviews I've seen with you, it's so crazy to see the ferocious kind of animal on the field and then just quiet as and kind of peaceful as can be. Was it definitely just something that your kind of your parents instilled in you?
Oh, it definitely is. I can thank my mom every single day for making me the man. My mom, basically, my whole family is making me who I am today, and has allowed me to not just succeed in life as in football, but has allowed me to succeed in life by now I am an engaged man, and I'm happy as ever.
Hmm.
So definitely the lessons that they have taught me has helped me to find not just successes in football, but also successes in life.
Hmm. Yeah, so that's kind of another topic I wanted to talk about. So what is the engage? What has that been like being engaged? While also trying to keep up a football career. What are the difficulties and things that fans don't really know about that occur when something like this happens in a relationship?
Um, well, there's a lot of things that can occur, but that's the thing. But like the most important thing is communication.
Hmm.
If you have great communication, like me and my fiance have great communication, you understand that like my schedule is very fixed, so I won't be able to do certain things. I won't be able to talk on the phone with her a lot because I have a priority that needs my attention. I have to study my plays. I have to work out. I have to go to meetings and I have to do those things. So first, being able to understand each other and be able to communicate is probably the most important thing. And just understanding like the short term things. Like right now, we understand that like okay, yes, we're going to get married soon, but right now, my focus is on football. I can't be focusing on like 20 plans all day.
Mm.
I have to focus on where my feet are at right now. So um, just communication, understanding each other's viewpoint, and yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, did you guys meet in college at Nebraska?
Um,
sorry, did you guys meet in college at Nebraska?
Yeah, we met in college, and I was able to. Um, but it was like December.
Hmm.
She was working elsewhere, and I had a great event. I was actually able to be recognized for AFCA, which is basically like going out your way to help the community
Hmm.
worldwide. And there's many people that were there that are just. When I heard their stories, it was just amazing. But I thought that was the best way to give, or the best thing I can ever give. Is not just my time, but the dedication.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. So I mean, I can't imagine kind of part of this another part of this podcast that I really want and show that I really want to kind of demonstrate to the viewers is how difficult it is when it comes to personal life and sports. I mean, hopefully this isn't applicable to you, and it's not. But I can imagine when I mean, just like football players, normal people, when a guy's going through a breakup or anything like that, and it like when any person goes through a breakup, it has them in the dog days. And have you seen guys have kind of have of course no names, but have you seen guys who have had kind of personal life, whether it be a girlfriend or not, that affects their playing?
Definitely, and I could probably say it's happened to me too.
Mm-hmm.
Not the breaking out part, but just life itself, and that's just life. The coaches, the players, the organization, they will all care for your need, and also they'll take care of you. They'll make sure you're comfort. Like if it's a definite family, um, Nebraska had a great. Nebraska coaches said, okay, if this say that you had to go to someone's funeral, don't worry about the practice. Just head to the funeral, and they took care of you, make sure you're okay. They talked to you. Um, Teammates were always supportive. And, like during those times, yeah, it's very difficult. It is, but at the end of the day, you have to remember that those situations happen in life. You do. If in a definite family, it happens, but don't regret. Don't fall. You can't forget to. Oh, sorry. You can't fall off because that's not what that person wanted you to do.
Mm, I see what you mean. Yeah.
To stay focused, you have to keep living out your dreams because that's what that person wanted to do. Excuse me. That's what that person wanted you to do. Now, if it's like a breakup, then that's another story, and
Yeah.
that's a thing you have to say. Hey, this situation happened, but guess what? I'm still in college.
Hmm.
I still have a life to live.
Yeah.
I still have goals and aspirations that I need to do.
Hmm. Yeah, it's just so crazy that like I mean now I'm at the age where I'm starting to become peers with college athletes going into my freshman year next year, and like the more I kind of talk to guys and stuff, the more that I realize that I don't want to say as a society, but just as a collective, we put the especially athletes kind of on this pedestal where we only know them for one thing and only care about one thing. And then at the end of the day, like these guys got to dorm with somebody and these guys got to go to class and kind of the same struggles that everybody else has.
Definitely.
Do you see guys kind of even though I'm sure you I'm pretty sure, hopefully you were one of them, but do you see have you seen guys take advantage of kind of some of the perks that come with it, whether it be getting kind of academics being made easy for them or anything like that?
Definitely. I feel like everybody should take advantage of the situations that they're in. Honestly, like especially if you're just a college student athlete. I mean, a college student. First year, you have a great atmosphere. You're receiving education. You have the possibility to do internships within your college, and also just seizing the opportunity because most people who don't go to college don't have the opportunity to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same way with athletes. Yes, we don't. Yes, when most colleges um, provide, sorry, most colleges provide assistance with their tuition because they want the student athlete to not just be great on the field but also off the field.
Mm-hmm.
And we also, sorry, um, it can be difficult for student athletes and students get to be distracted by one thing or another. For college students, it could be the college life, and for athletes, it could be also the college life, but also the sports that they live or the sports they play. So, just taking advantage of everything that's around you, especially student or non-student or athlete, is probably really important throughout the college days.
Oh yeah. And so now, I want. Can you talk a little bit about what you're planning on doing if football doesn't work out, and what you've been able to do at Nebraska with the education that they've given you?
Um, if football doesn't work out, which let's hope it does work out,
Fingers crossed,
because
as always. Yeah, let's hope.
if that situation ever occurs, then I know that there's a great base back in Nebraska and back in Kansas City. That's where I'm originally from. That would help people, and especially people that you know. So like I was saying, using all the resources that you have like around you, I've been able to meet with different organizations and talk to many like presidents of companies and hear their mission statement, be interested in it, see visit many of their like meetings that they invite other people to, and then try to get my name out there. And if this doesn't work, then I know that I have an opportunity to work for those organizations, which I'm interested in. But at the end of the day, I'm still trying to play football.
Yeah. So I mean, what specifically do you know? Do you think you're gonna do?
um, like if it doesn't work.
Yeah, if football doesn't work.
I got my degree in psychology and minor in business, so I'm really interested in IELTS psychology. And there's many companies around Lincoln and the Kansas City area that specialize in that. And um, I was able to talk to many people who work there and like the recruiters there. So hopefully, I have a great opportunity there.
How has something like psychology helped you in football?
Um, there's many things that has helped me. Like, how should I say this? Football is all about tendencies, like formation, uh, down and distance, and all stuff. But there's also small things like the person's behavior when they're on the line, or the natural ticks that somebody does when they're going right or going left. Like being able to see those things is a huge key for football players, and so psychology has helped me a lot in it because I understand that people naturally and unconsciously perform those behaviors even without noticing it. So whenever I'm watching film, if I can get a hint, just a small hint that they're going left compared to going right, even though the formation said they're going a different way, then it's going to help me on the field.
So do you think that's kind of one of the best parts about your game is just how quickly you can identify what's happening?
Oh, definitely, because defense is all about reaction. How are you going to be able to react to a certain block, certain plays, and all? So being able to react fast and being able to know what's going to happen will allow you to play faster.
Yeah, so kind of wrapping up the interview and with Nebraska. So when a lot of people go to Omaha, they go for the College World Series. Except when you went to Omaha, you went for women's indoor football. A little birdie told me.
That was actually, that's funny. I actually didn't go there for women's football. There was actually an event where the women's football team, the Omaha Beef, actually not Omaha Beef, I'm so sorry.
The Omaha Beef was the name?
Not Omaha Beef. Omaha Beef does play there, and that's where I have a family member who plays there. He plays there, and he plays for the Omaha Beef. So it's very normal for me to go there. But so sorry. I don't remember their name right now.
It's all good.
But the female football also plays there too, and they actually came to Nebraska, and they came to Nebraska. Omaha Heart. I finally remember. Omaha Heart came to Nebraska for a little camp. Oh, well, it was a women's clinic, and they all came, and they all asked for our support and all stuff. And I was just being a good person. I said, okay, y'all came here, y'all supported Nebraska, so let me go support y'all, and that's what I did.
Any of them you think that would be better than you?
I'm not answering that question.
Fair enough. All right. Well, it was awesome having you on the show. Thank you, and I really wish and will be following up with your career going out through the summer. Ball out, and yeah, thanks for coming on the show, Freedom.
Thank you.
All right. So that was an interview with Giants defensive lineman, rookie Freedom, and it was really cool getting to talk to him. Like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram at Matt_Weiner_. Thank you.